Hey everybody, how are you today? I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the American Federation of Aviculture Disaster Relief Telethon. I want to get this party started. There's Nick. Hi Nick, how are you? Oh, I can't hear you.
There we go.
Hold
Now
on.
you can hear me.
There you are.
Excited.
So
Hoping today goes really well.
I'm super excited. So I want you guys out there who are old enough to remember to think about Jerry Lewis, Ed McMahon. So Nick and I are going to channel them, and we're not going to ask Nick to do a whole lot except be the person that makes us look good and to count the money. So we need people while we're on today. You're going to hear from a lot of different people. Um, One of the things I want to talk about before we even get started is the incredible job, and he doesn't know this, that I was going to do this, that Nick has been doing. He's been fielding calls, he's been helping people, and the same. I want another thank you to go out to Abbott Hoffman because Abbott, I called around to a couple of places. A lot of my gang is down in Florida, and I called around to a bunch of places to talk to them about, are you guys okay with the hurricane? And I called a rescue in Inverness and I said, hey, if you need anything, American Federation of Aviculture is there for you guys if you need some help. And the answer I got was, well, they called us already. And I said, they did? And she said, oh, yeah. She goes, this really nice guy. And I said, oh, well, do you know what his name was? She goes, yeah, it was Abbott. And I was like, "Oh, it's our Abbott." So, a big thank you to Nick and Abbott. You guys have been doing incredible work, and there's a lot more to be done. And for that, we need some donations. So, Nick, we have a tote board, huh?
We do. It'll give me a second to get it up, but
Oh,
yeah,
no
here we
worries.
go, right here.
So you guys can see how we're doing. It's 0. We need to do better. I know we only just started, so it's okay. But what we're going to do today is first of all, I also want to thank the corporate donors who have been helping out. The avicultural community has really come together. I was getting phone calls from Florida, from all over the country. How can we help? And hey, we need help. And then the other thing is there are a lot of people out there who needed help, but they ended up being the ones that were helping. Oh no, I got this. Does anybody else need help? And so we've got the folks from the business world down on the bottom who have helped out. And so if you see any of their reps, or if you talk to anyone from those companies, please thank them on behalf of American Federation of Aviculture, that they've really stepped up and been there for people. And it's not just the hurricanes or just the tornadoes or that we're talking about. We're talking about overall disaster relief. I mean, things happen, and I've been lucky enough to never have to be in a situation like that. But so many of us have ended up in not so great situations, and in some cases, devastating situations. And it's the donations from you guys, from the agricultural community, that really keep this disaster relief fund going. So, what we're going to do is we've got videos from folks in the community, video from folks who have received assistance, some people who have received assistance, and we're going to play them for you. And in between, I'll just come in and tell you who they are. And Jody loves the disaster relief program. We've got Jody, but the first one up is Abbott Hoffman. Abbott is the American Federation of Aviculture's Mid Atlantic Regional Director. So let's hear from Abbott.
Good afternoon, my fellow agriculturists. My name is Abbott Hoffman, and I am AFA's Mid-Atlantic Regional Director. We would like to ask you all to help us in our disaster relief operations by donating to the American Federation of Agriculture on our website. We would also like to invite you to become a member of our great organization that supports all things agriculture. Please visit our website at afabirds.org to find out further details. Thank you all for your further support, and God bless, and have a great day.
All right. So again, thank you, Abbott. You have been amazing, and it's a really good message from Abbott. Not only are we asking you to donate, but you might want to join us. If you're an aviculturist or you want to learn more about aviculture, the American Federation of Aviculture is a great way to do that. So the next person is always motivational, and so I want to introduce you guys to Concetta Del Rocco Ferragamo. She is our Northeast Regional Director. I had the pleasure of being a state president a state representative under Lauren McFarland. Thank you for your donation. Woohoo! Yay! There should be some sort of prize. Oh, I'll figure it out, Lori. Yes, we've got some confetti. So the next person up is Concetta. Concetta is the Northeast Regional Director. I have worked with her on many occasions, and I know that she has experienced disaster relief from both sides of the street.
Hello. All right. So I was asked to say something about disaster relief with AFA, the American Federation of Aviculture. Something that I will always be grateful for is the year 2011. We got clobbered in Broome County with Depression Storm Lee. It wiped us out. It wiped out, I believe it was 19 different states along the East Coast. It was devastating. The highways were completely wiped out. Roads that were kind of far away from the river were all of a sudden waterfront property. So we held a drive that was sponsored by AFA, which was incredible that they were able to get stuff to us. That was a feat in itself. But there was no service still. There was no cell service. Roads were still wiped out. A lot of people couldn't get to us. So we reached out through Red Cross. We reached out through the veterinarians, the animal hospitals like Cornell Animal Hospital. Animal control to see, obviously, our own members, to see who needed help, anybody that had birds, how can we help and assist and get you supplies. So eventually we did end up finding all sorts of wonderful new people that, some that we have known and others that we didn't know at all. And we were able to help a lot of people, and that was because of the supplies that were provided by AFA. And through donations are what makes it all help. That's when everybody pulls together, and that's just an amazing, beautiful thing. That's just part of being united, right? So it's a great cause. Our disaster relief program is fantastic. Frankie girl right here is chiming in a little bit. I don't know if you heard some of her squeaks, but so, definitely take part and please join us. Thank you. Right? Is that good?
Thank you, Concetta. It's Concetta, like I said, she's been on both sides of disaster relief, and she's always there. When you need something, she's there. If you call her, you've got it. So hopefully her message got through to some of you guys, and it'll make a difference. Our next person is someone I have known for quite a while and am very fond of. I love how she pitches in and how her community pitches in when there's a disaster, when there's an emergency. So Jody Olmos is the Northwest Regional Director for American Federation of Aviculture, and she is also the owner of Kiko's Parrots in Tacoma, Washington.
Hey everybody, it's Jody from Kiko's Parrots, also the Northwest Regional Director of AFA. We are asking for donations for AFA disaster relief. Back in 2020, AFA Disaster Relief provided Kiko's Parrots with help. We had taken in about 80 birds due to wildfires out here in Washington State. And then we ourselves had to evacuate. So we evacuated about 120 birds, and AFA Disaster Relief was right there to help with food and wire for crates. We can only help if we receive donations to help. We get great donations. I know there's a lot of people in the Southeast that need help. The great thing about AFA Disaster Relief, you do not have to be a member to get help. So if you're listening, please know that there is help. Reach out to us for that help and to continue to give that help. We appreciate any and all donations. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you, Jody. And like Jody said, you don't have to be a member to benefit from the American Federation of Aviculture's disaster relief. It would be great if you were, and we'd love to have you, but you don't have to be. So if you're out there and you need help, or you know someone that needs help that's saying, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know, I'm not part of that," you really you can get help. This is what the disaster relief fund is for. Um, our next person is someone who has been in the thick of it. Um, Ginny Heftig is the Florida, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands regional director. And let's see what Jenny has to say.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ginny Heptick, AFA's Regional Director for Florida, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. The main reason for asking you to join us at this telethon today is because AFA has a life-saving disaster relief program which assists all those dedicated to keeping birds in our world. We help both members and non-members during these events. This is how you can help today. Go to afabirds.org, where you can offer a donation by tapping the disaster relief button to help those in the affected areas by disasters. Between climate changes and shifts within the earth itself, we are experiencing more and more hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, mudslides, earthquakes, and flooding. These multiple events are beginning to drain our on-hand resources that we really would appreciate your help to reinforce. A short list of points that I'd like to mention. 100% of the funds donated goes to assist aviculturists in need of supplies and necessities like food and water. No cash is ever exchanged hands. Some may even offer their physical assistance readying before the storm or possibly cleaning up after. Distribution centers are set up in areas that hit the most to distribute food and water. There's an assortment of tabs on our website, which is afabirds.org, that you can learn more about us and the program. While you're there, you might want to check out our membership tab and see what type of membership you might be interested in. Along with the membership, our beautiful printed AFA Watchbird magazine is sent out quarterly. Please share our website with all your avian friends and about our plea for all aviculturists to flock together by going to afabirds.org and click on that donate button. Thank you from every birdie.
Thanks, Ginny. Ginny brings up a really good point that it's oh, Carol Woodson, thank you for your donation. Woohoo! Can we get some confetti? Nick's like, oh, you're making me do more stuff. There we go. All right. Thank you so much, Carol. Carol is a very vibrant part of the American Federation of Aviculture. And so thank you for all you do, Carol, and thank you for your donation to disaster relief. So Ginny brought up a really good point. Again, you don't have to be a member. There are other ways, but it's about being part of something bigger. It's about being part of this community. And we all really, I mean, I think we all like to belong, and let's be honest, we bird people are unique. So this is part of it. The disaster relief is part of it. Thank you, buddy. Louis Buddy Waski. Thank you for your donation. Woohoo. Um, you got confetti. This is good. I'm loving the confetti. I need more confetti, you guys, though. Everybody out there, I need some more confetti. And we only know the only way that happens is donations. So click on that QR code on the corner or go to afabirds.org and make your donation as we are live. Our next guests are a pair that beats three of a kind. They definitely do. We've got Debbie Schweikart, who is the Western Regional Director and owner of the Arizona Bird Store, and her partner in all things bird. I was going to say crime, but we don't want to go there. Kim Hatch, who is part of Birds Out Loud, who brings education and birds to the community. So let's see what they have to say.
Hello, my name is Deborah Schweikart. I am owner-operator of Arizona Bird Store in Arizona. I'm Kim Hatch, and I run Birds Out Loud, a 501c3 also in Arizona. Kim and I are both here today to urge anyone who has birds in their lives, whether they are breeders, hobbyists, whether they are in the bird industry, whether they've turned their passion into their profession like we have, having to do with birds, we're urging you to join the American Federation of Aviculture. Now, the American Federation of Aviculture has been around for 50 years, standing on the firing line against legislation and pouring a lot of money and a lot of time into education. They promote bird welfare, and most importantly, they support and spend a lot of money and time on disaster relief.
As you know, our country has been devastated by hurricanes and tornadoes this season. And not only has that affected people, it has affected birds as well. So these poor birds no longer have their homes. In some cases, they don't have their families anymore. And we desperately need your help to save them. We need any donation that you can give, even $1 will go a long way to providing relief for these birds who don't have food or shelter or even clean water right now. So please visit afabirds.org, or there should be a QR code on your screen that you can scan to donate there.
And we're going to go jump in a bus and go help a bunch of birds. So
sounds about right.
Help us out. Join AFA and support the disaster relief. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie and Kim. You know, it's really, those guys are always there. They're always, hopping in the bus to go help birds. And they also, it's the birds that are affected. It's the birds that, I mean, we worry about the people, but most of us in the world of aviculture, if you get the birds taken care of, your stress level goes down a little bit. Okay. So we need those donations. We're at 220 right now. I think, we can do better than that. I know we can. Anybody out there got to just click on that QR code. It's really easy. Our next guest is one of my favorite people in the whole world. And she is the voice of reason, oftentimes in a crazy bird world. When things get a little out of control, she's there to handle it. I want to introduce to you guys Miss Georgia Hayes, the first Vice President of the American Federation of Aviculture.
Hello, I'm Georgia Hayes, and I'm honored to be the first Vice President of the American Federation of Aviculture. This year we are celebrating our 50th year. During those 50 years, AFA has provided disaster relief to fellow aviculturists, members or not, for hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and fire. Not only do we provide food, supplies, and building materials, some of our members volunteer their time, traveling hours, to provide help however they can. Today we are reaching out to you to ask for your help. Your donation can make a significant impact and enable us to continue providing essential help and supplies to those in need and to the birds we love. Please go to afabirds.org and donate today. Your generosity is very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Georgia. And I know that Georgia is no stranger to dealing with those kind of the crises that we're talking about with disaster relief. So I want to thank you for your message. There's somebody that the next person we're going to have up here is someone who, I call and bounce ideas off, and he's always willing to help. He, whether it's in the bird world, whether it's in the personal. Heather McFarland, thank you for your donation. We got some more confetti. Thank goodness. I love confetti. So this person, and Ginny, thank you for your donation. Wow, just tons of confetti. I'm loving it. That was up there already. Did she get double confetti? Oh, that's cool. But yeah, this person, he's always there when you need him, whether it's for birds, for just a vent session. Well, thank you, Eric Carpenter. We appreciate your donation. Um, so this person, you guys know him as Buddy Lewis Waskey, the president, current president of American Federation of Apiculture. Let's hear what Buddy has to say.
Greetings from Southern Virginia. I'm Buddy Waskey, the president of American Federation of Aviculture. And we would like to thank you for joining us in our telethon tonight. We're raising money for our disaster relief program. A lot of people don't know it, but AFA has a disaster relief program, and it's used to help birds in need that have been in a disaster. Often these disasters are hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, and anyway, we've had several hurricanes on the East Coast, and we need to raise money to help pay for the assistance that we've provided to people. We've helped several facilities this year, and in the past we have. And so we'd appreciate any donations that you could make, regardless of how large or small, so that we can help birds that are in need during a natural disaster. Thank you, and have a good day.
You know, a lot of people who have spoken that we've heard from have said, you know, it doesn't matter what the size of your donation is, and it's so very true. Um, and it just keeps going up. I I I need some confetti there. Thank you very much, Debbie Schiffmacher. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is an incredible donation, and I can tell you guys that Debbie and Carrie, thank you very much. I can tell you that those two ladies, Deb and Carrie, both were experiencing Helene and Milton, the hurricanes, and they still were calling me and saying, "Who needs help? I heard about so and so. They need some help." And I know that both of them needed help, but they were out there. When Georgia mentioned, you know, people driving here and there, driving there, Carrie Ellen was dropping off food to people after getting her birds at her facility all safely inside. And, you know, thank you, Jody, for your donation. More confetti. You guys are the best. I really do appreciate all the confetti. You know, so see, I'm easily amused. The confetti makes me happy, but because I know that that confetti turns into help, help for the birds that are out there, help for people who are struggling and struggling still. You know, people are like, oh well, it's all past. It's all nope. There's still a lot of struggle going on. The next lady that we're going to hear from is someone who is also not a stranger to helping people out. She's been with the American Federation of Aviculture and the National Parrot Foundation, formerly known as MPRPF. It's like the actor, for the musician formerly known as Prince. Jamie Whitaker is the second vice president of the American Federation of Aviculture. Let's hear what Jamie has to say.
Hi, I'm Jamie Whitaker. For over 20 years, the American Federation of Aviculture has helped birds suffering from natural disasters, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, fires, and even volcanoes. If birds are in need, the AFA has been there to help. Thanks to our business sponsors and our volunteers, the AFA has helped birds to return to their safe and normal lives. Your donations today can help AFA to continue this very important work. AFA is always there because AFA cares.
AFA absolutely cares. Thank you, Jamie. And, I want to say it's not just about the monetary donation. It's about letting people know that we are there as a community, and it may just be that kind word that someone needs. But being a community, being a part of something greater, the American Federation of Aviculture, is really important. That's not to say that we're not still looking for those donations. So I need some more confetti, but it's definitely about Ron, thank you. Ron Jellum, thank you very much for your donation. So appreciated. Ron is part of that wonderful community up in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. And just happens that the next person that we're going to hear from is also from the Pacific Northwest. This lady is always out there. When something, a local emergency happens, a local disaster, she's right there. She is always ready to help. And that person is Debbie Goodrich, the president of Flight Club.
Hi there, this is Debbie Goodrich, President and CEO of Flight Club Foundation, a 501c3 parrot networking and licensed parrot humane society in Washington State. We're very excited to be joining the American Federation of Agriculture's Disaster Relief Telethon today. We're equally excited to let you guys know that we are donating $135 to the fund as of today. And what we want to let you guys know is that we've been long-term affiliates of the American Federation of Agriculture, who has led the charge in helping all of our birds across our country, anywhere from legislation to conservation to relief of disasters that we're asking for you to help us with today. Flight Club Foundation has identified that parrots are our canary in the coal mine to the future of humanity. They are the hardest hit order of bird by 59% decline because of agricultural practices, industrial manufacturing practices that are out of control in their carbon production and destruction of carbon sinkability. Disasters that we are facing now are going to increase and get far worse. It is just a simple fact. And therefore, what we need from you is as much donation as we can to help the Disaster Relief Fund. This is not only the fund that's going to help this, but we're also asking for you guys to realize that parrots can help us survive this climate disaster we're putting ourselves in. They can help us identify the true name of the disaster we are creating, and they can also help us solve those problems by focusing on carbon scrubbing that we so desperately need. If you guys work together with us as a team to support the American Federation of Aviculture today, we will have a future for us all. Save a parrot today, save us all tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, I missed some confetti, Nick. I think, yeah, we need a lot of confetti. There we go. This is so exciting, and I want to thank Debbie. Debbie is that voice that speaks. I feel like Debbie's like the Lorax. She speaks for the birds. She speaks for the planet, and she brings up some very good points. And I think being part of the American Federation of Aviculture is sharing that message. And we are seeing a lot of natural disasters, a lot of things going on, more than perhaps we're used to. I don't know, maybe the media is better than it used to be, and we see more of it, but we do need to be aware that things are, and life can be a little scary these days. And we, as a group, need to come together and really, like Habit says, thank you all for joining in. Please donate and help us continue the mission. Please join us as a member, and God bless. I think that's the sentiment that I think a lot of us want to share. But I do want to thank Debbie for that message and reminding us that we do have to take care of this planet. We need to take care of the birds that we've been given to take care of. The next person is someone who has been with AFA for many years. He started when he was about 3. No, but this gentleman is always, always there to help others. And in this light of this current disaster, the hurricanes down in Florida, he was the first one to say, "No, I got this. I'm okay." And I know that, Carrie Ellen and Deb reached out to him and he said, "No, I got this. There are people that need more help than I do." But I want to introduce you guys to Fred Smith. Fred is the former disaster relief coordinator for the American Federation of Aviculture. And take a listen to what Fred has to say.
This was my 95-foot macaw building where we housed our macaws. This building come down during Hurricane Milton here in Central Florida. There was 2 foot of water in this building as well. Hello, I'm Fred Smith. I was the AFA Disaster Relief Coordinator for 20 years. It was a great opportunity. But during them 20 years, I've seen a lot of hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, floods, and how it impacted bird people and the birds. I was so glad to be able, because of your donations, to supply them with feed, water, cages, wire, and other supplies. Without your donations, this would be impossible. Would you consider donating to AFA Disaster Relief Program? And to help, as Nick Pendergrass, now the coordinator, can continue with this wonderful program. Go to afabirds.org and there you can make your donation. And while you're there, consider joining AFA, becoming a member, because AFA is more than disaster relief. AFA is conservation, education, legislation, and also the Watchbird publication. AFA cares for birds, and it shows. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know about you guys. I got to see that before you all did, and it brought me to tears. There's nothing more heartfelt than someone who has been the coordinator and helped others and is now in need of help. I want to thank Fred so much from the bottom of my heart. And please, if you can, and like I mentioned, things are, some people are having a tough time these days. But Fred, thank you. And if you feel anything, if you listening to what Fred had to say, he was talking about all the different things that AFA is and does. And, but helping someone like Fred, who's always helped others, is what we're asking you to do with donations today. That's why we're doing what we're doing. So thank you, Fred, for those heartfelt words. It means a great deal coming from you. The next person is one of our younger aviculturists, and I heard through the grapevine that she recently participated in Fundamentals of Aviculture, which is a course that you can take through American Federation of Aviculture. And I want to introduce you guys to Miss Melanie Hoffman.
Hello everyone joining in. My name is Melanie Hoffman. I am a member of the American Federation of Agriculture through a family membership. I highly recommend joining this outstanding organization. You can learn plenty of educational information about agriculture and conservation. The organization also holds a yearly educational conference where many outstanding agriculturists come together and learn from experts in their field. You can find more information about becoming a member at afabirds.org. Also, please don't hesitate to support our disaster relief program. Thank you very much and have a wonderful, blessed day. Agriculturist rocks.
It's nice to hear from someone that young, and so exciting. That is our future. So yeah, like Buddy says, thank you for your support. It's through this an organization like American Federation of Aviculture that there are places for young ladies like Melanie and young people like Melanie to go and get good information from those of you who have been doing this for many years, and to get the newest information at the annual conferences and to take fundamentals of aviculture. So thank you, Melanie, for the words that you shared with us. The next two folks that we're going to be hearing from are David and Barry. David and Barry are the owners of the Lahaina Bird Stand, and they were recipients of disaster relief. And this will show you some of the incredible work that has been done through disaster relief. Let's hear from David and Barry.
Get a good position, so.
Hi, we're Barry and David from downtown Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii. We had the famous bird stand, Lahaina Bird Stand, on Front Street for many, many years. And on August 8th, 2023, our entire town burned down, and we lost everything, our home, our business, our aviary, everything. So that night we sat, get the birds too, we sat on the side of the road with 15 birds, 4 dogs, 3 cats, me, David, and my handicapped father in 2 vehicles, and watched the town burn the whole night. When dawn came, we sat there not knowing what to do. We were just lost. So as soon as we had communication, we reached out to friends, and they let us come to their house. And our vet reached out to us and took the birds for temporary. But little did we know, behind the scenes, Nick Pendergrast, the American Federation of Aviculture, Leah Hollingsworth from the Hawaiian Feathered Friends Network, and Judith Archer from the Parrot Posse were working feverishly to get us help that we desperately needed. And it was like the hand of God reached out of the heavens and picked us up. They arranged a place for the birds to go, for somebody to care for them until we could get on our feet. They arranged 15 beautiful cages for us, and they got us all the food, toys, perches, everything that we needed for the birds. I mean, in record time. And I had no idea that something like this existed until they reached out to help us. I don't know how they found us or what, but I'm so glad they did. And I'm going to take you through here. I'll walk you in the aviary and show you the cages. So here's all our beautiful birds. All my babies are safe and sound, healthy, happy, and in their brand new home. It's taken quite a while, but we could not have done it without the help of these wonderful folks. And I just urge anybody that can to please, please donate to help the birds, because they took wonderful care of us, and they do a wonderful job and a wonderful service that's desperately needed. With the hurricanes in Florida, there's several displaced birds and several aviaries that were lost. So they have a lot of work to do, and they need your help. So here's the cages that they got for us. They got us 15 beautiful cages, toys, all the toys we could ever need, food, nuts, everything for the birds. And they arranged for the Hyatt here on Maui to take our birds in and care for them until we could get back on our feet. So please help this wonderful organization with a donation today. And I thank you very much. Thank you, Nick, Leah, and Judith. We owe you our hearts. And the birds thank you from the bottom of their hearts. Aloha.
Aloha, and thank you so much for sharing that information. When paradise is on fire, they need some help. So Nick got right to work and, helped them get what they needed. So, and that is only possible through the Disaster Relief Fund. It's only possible if we have your support. Hey, Flight Club Foundation, good to see you. Thank you for participating with us. Um, so, the next individual who we're going to hear from is someone who is wonderfully, wonderfully involved, and he is a wonderful aviculturist. So we're going to hear from Steve Duncan, and this time Steve has got his president of the Organization of Professional Aviculturists hat on.
Hello, this is Steve Duncan from OPA, the Organization of Professional Aviculturists. And I'm proud to say that OPA is donating $1,000 towards the AFA Disaster Relief Fund. We really appreciate all the great work AFA does to support aviculturists, especially in these times of need, and we're very proud to support that.
Well, I love it when Steve has his OPA hat on, Organization of Professional Aviculturists. Look at all that confetti. That's $1,000 worth of confetti. Thank you so much, Steve and the Organization of Professional Aviculturists. And once again, that's a great example of bird people, the community coming together. They're a separate organization, but we all stand, behind the same kind of things. And we all really are looking for what's best for the birds. So I really, really want to thank those folks from the Organization of Professional Aviculturists. Yeah, it is a generous donation, Jenny. I was getting a little concerned. I wasn't seeing any confetti, but that was a lot of confetti. So thank you very much for that wonderful donation. The next person who sent us some video is Carrie Ellen Lorman from Bird Gardens of Naples. Carrie is, like I said before, one of those people that does her thing, gets her stuff taken care of, and bam, she's out there helping other people. So first of all, I want to thank you for all that you do for aviculture and birds in general, Carrie. But let's see what Carrie experienced during this most recent round of hurricanes.
Front gate, we lost a lot of foliage along the gate and fence, all the green screening. I did salvage a sign we had up there that I took down before the hurricane. Our perch made it. Our fence definitely did not, but it's been in rough shape for many years, so I didn't expect it to make it. We did lose quite a bit of trees and foliage. Helene, I lost 4 trees before it even went by, and it was a storm I really wasn't concerned about. But when the bands went through, they took down trees right away. We are still cleaning up, but most of it is clean.
So having been to that property, I can tell you, Carrie has done a ton of cleaning, but at the same time, it was a ton of work. And you can see there's usually a lot more foliage than you saw there. And it's the landscape has changed, and now where the aviaries are has changed, and it's things like that that we need to help people with. We need to help them getting back to where they were or moving forward with a new plan. So thank you, Carrie, for sharing that view of your property with us. So the next person we're going to hear from is someone that we get to see. Oh, more confetti. Thank you, Kashmir. Really appreciate your donation. Kashmir is always there to support aviculture. She is, and we don't always get to see her in person, but she's always got wonderful information online. So we want to thank you for that. So back to this person, we usually get to see her at conferences, but she is a strong supporter of the American Federation of Aviculture and just aviculture in general. But the fact that she comes and hangs out with us and shares her knowledge with us is wonderful. So let's hear what Hilla Neiman from Parrot Behavior Consulting has to say.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hildegard Niemann, and I'm a parrot behavior consultant in MSc Biology working from Germany and internationally. Usually, we meet at the AFA convention once in a year, and there we meet folks, friends, and talk about parrot behavior and parrots and birds in general. But this time, I'm getting back to you because of the climate change and of all the disasters that happened to us and our community. As you may have realized, there are a lot of floods in the meantime. There are a lot of tornadoes, hurricanes that affect especially pet parrot owners. So when we talk about living in such an area where disaster happens, when you've got a dog or you've got a cat, you can take those animals easily with you. But when you've got a breeding facility or you run a rescue organization or you've got a lot of birds and then a disaster happens, what will you do? Then you need help from other people. You need people that have got some crates for you, that have got some cages for you. You need to put all these birds there. And it's a lot of work that you cannot do on your own and alone. What you need is help. And therefore, we all need to stand together and support the disaster relief of the AFA so that we can give you the help that you need in such a situation. Sometimes we can only give money because that's the only way we can help those people. But it's also important that we offer a helping hand, and sometimes even if it's only an ear, that we lend those persons that they've got sorrows with their birds, that feel so unhappy in the situation, sad that the bird has died during the disaster. All these things are important for pet parrot owners. So we all need to stand together as a community and help each other. Please donate, and if you cannot donate, try to help by yourself or give a helping hand, or even give your ear if somebody needs it. We all need to stand together, and I hope you will support the AFA convention and the disaster relief. Thank you very much for your attention.
We love Hilla. Thank you, Peninsula Cage Bird Society. Very exciting. Thank you for your donation. I have been to Peninsula. It's a wonderful club. And it's the fact that they're still hanging out there and doing their thing as a club is wonderful. And we do appreciate that donation. And as Hilla mentioned, it may just be an ear that people need. They may just need somebody that will listen, somebody that's not in the thick of it, that can listen and not be judgmental about it and just kind of, what do you need? What can I do? I can't tell you how many phone calls I made saying to people, what can I do from afar? Because Maine is really afar from Florida or from North Carolina, and when the wildfires were happening in California. So we are, as we in Maine say, you guys are from away. But reach out to folks. It may just be they need to have a conversation with somebody. But I can tell you, we do need your donations. So I need more confetti. So I'm waiting on the confetti. So anybody that wants to make a donation, we're accepting them now. You can click that QR code right there in the corner of your screen. So the next person that we have, we're going to hear from was involved. You've heard her mentioned. David and Barry mentioned her when they were talking. Leah Hollingsworth Ramsey, who is the president of the Hawaiian Feathered Friends Network.
Aloha, my name is Leah Hollingsworth Ramsey. I'm the president of the Hawaiian Feathered Friends Network. We are primarily an Oahu-based organization, but because our group runs Hawaii Parrot Forum, which is a Facebook group, it allows us to interact with and establish relationships with parrot owners and bird owners on all of the main Hawaiian Islands. I'm making this video in support of AFA's disaster relief program. I cannot say enough. Over the years, after every natural disaster, like if a volcano flowed or after a big tropical storm, they would reach out to us and say, does anybody need assistance? And for the most part, nobody did need assistance, not until the Lahaina wildfires. after the Lahaina wildfires, Nick reached out to us. He's our disaster relief coordinator, and he said, "Does anybody need assistance?" So we had people on the ground posting flyers and distributing bird food to all the shelter locations. And our flyers basically said, are you a bird owner and do you need assistance for your birds? Do you need food? Do you need supplies? Please contact us. And we had our phone number, we had our email address, we had our mailing address, and people were circulating it on social media. So eventually we were able to make contact with Barry Matthews and David Vonzo. They run the Lahaina Bird Stand, and they were able to escape the fires with their 15 birds and some dogs and cats, but they lost everything. They lost their home, they lost their business, everything. And, when I first got on the phone with Barry, the first thing she told me was, I need cages. I need cages for my birds. I need cages that are safe, because people were offering them these rusted cages that had been out in their yard for years and years. And that was not, a suitable living arrangement for them. And they were, at the time, being housed in their cat cages at the vet clinic. Her vet was gracious enough to take the birds in, because they were just sitting there on the side of the road with a bunch of birds and carriers and their dogs and cats, and they didn't know what on earth to do. So, when she told me I need cages, and I said, I understand. I'm going to help you. And so when I got off the phone, I immediately contacted Nick, our disaster relief coordinator, and said, these people really need help. They really need cages, and we need to help them. Well, the problem is in Hawaii, when it comes to macaw cages, nobody stocks macaw cages. And so for those of us that are big bird owners, we have them shipped in, and it takes a while. So we're going to have a hard time finding one macaw cage. And then to need 15 of them was just, like an insurmountable hurdle. So anyways, after brainstorming a little bit, between Nick and I, and we got in contact with the Parrot Posse, we were able to establish like a three-way collaboration to be able to purchase the cages for Barry and David's birds. And we got them in, got the birds all settled. The birds were most of them were staying at their vet's office. Then they were transferred over to the Hyatt Regency Maui, which is a USDA-approved exotic animal care facility, because they do keep a lot of birds there themselves. And then AFA was sending food, during the early months. They were sending food, and so they didn't have to worry about food. They didn't have to worry about how their birds are going to be cared for. They didn't have to worry about cages. That was all taken care of, and Barry and David got to focus on trying to rebuild their lives and their homes. And in this last year, we've continued to support them with food support for their birds. And, now they've gotten where they are in a stable housing situation. They're starting to rebuild their business, and the birds are happy and well cared for. So I cannot say enough to AFA's disaster relief program, because, we were able to help them. And the only reason we were able to help David and Barry and provide support for as long as we could was because AFA did all the heavy lifting on the cages. They paid for the bulk of it. And then, between our organization and Parrot Posse, we picked up the rest of the stuff. And like, if we had to buy all the cages, we wouldn't have had enough money to carry them through for them to rebuild their lives. And so this program is really, really important and helpful to bird owners. Now that we have Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton, who has kind of decimated a good portion of the southeast United States, there are a lot of bird owners that need assistance, and they need AFA's help. They have the connections with all the food suppliers. They have connections with toy companies, and now cage companies, and so they are a very valuable organization, and the only reason they're able to do this is through our donations. And so, if you are a bird owner, a bird lover, please join AFA. If you run a parrot club or a bird club or a rescue organization, associate your organization with AFA and support their programs, because you know what, disaster strikes everywhere. You never know where it's going to hit or who it's going to hit, but you're going to be grateful when they're there for you, or when they're there for your friend or your family member, somebody you know. And right now there are people that are hurting that really need the assistance. So I urge you to please donate. Please send some money. Our organization, the Hawaiian Feathered Friends, is donated. I plan on donating myself. My board members are planning on donating. You know, and so, the more you can do to help this organization, it just helps them to continue doing the good work that they've been doing since the early 1970s. And so that's pretty amazing if you think about it. That's 50 years of helping people. So please donate, send whatever you can. No amount is too small. If you can spare more, then please do, because it all goes for good. It's all for the sake of the birds. And if you love your birds, you'll send some money and help AFA to continue doing the good work that they do. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. It means so. Oh, that's a lot of confetti. I'm kind of excited by this confetti, Nick. This is very exciting. We, like Leah said, I want to thank her and her organization, the Feathered Friends Network, Hawaiian Feathered Friends Network, for working so closely with Nick to get that taken care of, to get that done. And I want to thank her and her board of directors and everyone who's affiliated with them. It's a group effort. We all need to stick together to make this happen. And when somebody's hurting, not necessarily a member, but one of our number of bird owners and bird lovers, we need to get together and really try to help out. So that's exciting. I'm loving the tote board there, Nick. This is really cool. We've still got that QR code there. If anybody wants to donate right now, scan that or visit afabirds.org and hit that donate button. So the next person we're going to hear from is someone who, again, she's another one of those people. And I feel like there's a trend here that you're hearing this from me more often than not this afternoon. This person is another one of those people that was like, oh no, I got this. I'm all set. I'm good. But this person needs help, or that person needs help. And she'd send me a text and say, I thought of another person. I'm sorry. It's late, or I'm sorry that I didn't tell you before. But this lady is there for all of us. She's there if you need her. I know she has been extremely supportive of her fellow aviculturists and her friends. So this is Deb Lex, aviculturist.
This was the biggest hit we had. You'll see photos attached of our workshop that was destroyed, the door blown in, roof blown off, twisted trusses, just a mess. And you can still see we have a lot of stuff still to go back in the Connex, but we're getting there. And we'll have a lean-to off of this. We've got a temporary one back there right now, but it holds all of our farm equipment, and I can't say enough about AFA Relief Fund in the avian community. They've helped us out tremendously. They've been a blessing, and just the outpouring of support for help with cages, food, wire, and just the network of people is incredible. So if you can give to the AFA Relief Fund, it's being well used by people who really, really need it. And I just want to say thank you, and please consider donating. the biggest.
Thank you, Deb. And I think we need some more confetti. Um, Thank you, Wendy, for your donation. It's really appreciated. And as you can see, hearing from these folks that have actually received assistance from disaster relief, there's a lot that needs to be done. You didn't see half of. I mean, Deb lost a building. It wasn't just, a couple panels here or a couple shingles there. She lost a building, just like Fred did. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. But we've got another person from Florida. She's from the Majestat Aviary, and it's Beth Garcia.
Today's day 10. We're receding down here on Roundtree. You can see I've lost my fences. That tree came down during the storm. I can't quite see the one that came down and snapped during the water yet, but it landed on the fence. So it's gonna be a long time till the horses get back in the pasture just from the water alone. Never mind now having to come up with the finances to replace fencing. Something was moving around there, probably an alligator. This is what the water looks like now. My mom's community's worse because you got oil and gas from the cars with nobody letting them know they needed to evacuate. Plus, the homes have been underwater now for 10 days. You got feces, everything else, which is definitely coming in this water. Nobody, if you're in the areas of the Withlacoochee, do not go in this water. If you have a cut on your foot or anything, you're in trouble. Oh, I guess I can see the tree that snapped. So that's my fence. Yeah. That tree, that's a branch on the grandfather oak going up. The complete tree was ripped up from the water pressure. Here's a better view of the tree. So you can see it was uprooted from the pressure of the water. Uh-oh, there's something bubbling. I'm not gonna find out what it is. So all this was grass. There'll be some that will stay, but most of this will be destroyed, so it's all gotta be replanted. You can see where the watermarks came up on that lovage shed. We got very lucky, very lucky. The barn, we're gonna start working on that today, now that the county is taking ownership. You can see how high the water table still is. Oh, it's gone down today. That hole was still filled with water coming out of the aquifer. That is courtesy of Cocoa. Looks like the cedar's drying out pretty well. You can see where the water market didn't get too bad in there. This place stinks. I got some of the food out yesterday. I guess I missed some shipping boxes. We had a rowdy bush there. We lost over 20 bags. We thank the AFA for donations. They donated us 18 bags of seed. See the watermarks there. Oh God, the smell. Oh. The girls' hay.
So there's a lot you can see. I mean, Nancy Vesely, thank you for the confetti. I appreciate your donation. The Beth had a lot of physical damage that needed to be taken care of, and she reached out and we got her. And the other thing about disaster relief, it's not always will help get you through. We will help get you as close to what you're used to. But sometimes it's just food, it's just water, but those things are so very important when you're struggling. So thank you, Beth, for sending in your update, and hopefully you won't be seeing a lot of those gators. I know that's a Florida thing, but I don't know. So we've got another Florida resident who is second generation aviculturist, and she has shared with us some of what she experienced. This is from Jenna Mead at Tampa Bay Parrots. sometimes those plans just don't work out because it happens too quickly. A tornado doesn't give you any warning. You know, you get some warning with a hurricane, but a tornado doesn't give you any warning. Wildfires switch directions in an instant, and suddenly your neighborhood is needing to be evacuated. So you really just have to think about it's the magnitude of what happened. And it's, you know, whether it's someone who's a companion parrot owner, someone who is a breeder, someone who runs a rescue, everyone is affected. You know, disaster doesn't pick on, oh, it's just the breeders, oh, it's just the pet owners, oh, it's just the rescues. It's everybody. It's all of us as a community and part of the American Federation of Aviculture. Um, so I mentioned before that we had a video from Steve Duncan with his president of the Organization of Professional Aviculturists hat on, but Steve also switched hats, and we have a video from him as the president of the Avicultural Society of America.
Hello again. This is Steve Duncan, this time as the president of the Agricultural Society of America, ASA. And ASA is also donating $1,000 towards the AFA Disaster Relief Fund. We appreciate all the great work you do, AFA, and we're proud to support you.
So, does Steve have any other hats? Because that was kind of awesome. I want to thank the Avicultural Society of America and Steve for supporting AFA. We work together. We're all in this together. So thank you so much for that support. And I'm I want to thank you guys so much. This total we've got going here. I hope that it continues, you know, and you send this to your friends and you tell your friends, hey, you got to watch that. And the QR code will continue to be there. The button will always be at afabirds.org for you to click on. So I want to thank you all so very much for what you've done. But we have one final video. It's from a woman that a lot of us have come to know as the Queen.
Hello, loyal subjects. I am Georgia Hayes, aka the Queen. I want to thank you for your continued support of AFA and disaster relief. During my reign, I have never raised taxes. Oh wait, I never imposed any taxes, did I? I'll have to think about that. You all have been the best subjects ever. You have done and given so much, and I want you to know it's all greatly appreciated. But today I'm asking you to give just a little bit more. Any gift, regardless of the size, for disaster relief would be greatly appreciated. We want to continue to be able to help those who need it when they need it. And without your support, we can't do that. Please remember, a happy queen can't be mean. Go to afabirds.org and please donate today. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You know, and if her words don't move you to donate, I just think I need to give up. You know, you got to do what the Queen asks you to do. So, anyway, we have come to the end of our hour-long telethon, and I I am blown away by the fact that we were able to raise $5,195 in the space of an hour. You guys can do anything. You are united as aviculturists. You're united by your love of birds and your love of our natural world. So I want to thank you all so much for spending this hour with us and so much for your donations. And Nick, I'm pretty impressed. How about you?
Very much, very much. And thank you. Thank you
Um,
so much for hosting. And we couldn't have
oh,
done it
no
without you.
worries. No worries. Thank you. And yeah, like I always say, Nick's the one that makes me look good, or at least passable. I don't know. So thank you guys. And you can continue to donate so that Nick can continue to help folks. AFA Disaster Relief wouldn't, I mean, it functioned great with Fred, and now Nick has picked up that torch and is doing a wonderful job. So I want to thank you all so much, and everyone, take care. We've got a ton of confetti, and I think that's important. So you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you soon. Take care.